There are seasons in life when it feels like nothing is moving. You pray, but doors stay closed. You work, but recognition never comes. You believe, but promotion never arrives. And slowly, a dangerous thought begins to grow. Did God forget me? But thousands of years ago, there was a young man who asked the same silent question. His name was Joseph. Joseph was not ordinary. He had vision. He had purpose. He had a dream from God himself, a dream where he saw himself elevated, standing above even his own family. It was a glimpse of destiny. But what Joseph didn't know was that God often shows the destination long before he prepares the person, because calling comes instantly, but capacity takes time. And Joseph's preparation would not happen in a palace. It would happen in pain. First came betrayal. The very people who should have protected him, his own brothers, threw him into a pit. Imagine the confusion. How can a God-given dream lead to a God-allowed betrayal? But here is the first psychological truth. Elevation requires separation. Sometimes God removes you from familiar environments because destiny cannot grow in comfortable places. Joseph was sold into slavery, taken far from home, far from love, far from identity, from favored son to forgotten servant. And this is where most people break, because obscurity feels like abandonment. But Joseph did something rare. He chose excellence in obscurity. Even as a slave, he worked with integrity. He led with discipline. He served with faithfulness. And slowly, quietly, he began developing the mindset of leadership. This is the second truth. God tests character in hidden seasons before revealing public elevation. No audience, no applause, no reward, only responsibility. And Joseph passed that test. So promotion finally came. He was placed in charge of his master's household. Things were improving. The dream seemed closer. But then, another fall. False accusation. Betrayal again. This time not into a pit, but into prison. And here is where faith is truly refined. Because the deepest pain is not suffering. It is delayed promise. Joseph had done nothing wrong, yet everything went wrong. And many people today live in this exact season. Good heart, good effort, no results. But prison became Joseph's greatest preparation. Because leadership is not built in comfort. It is forged in constraint. In prison, Joseph learned emotional control, patience, discernment, wisdom with people, and endurance under pressure. These are not palace skills. They are pressure skills. And success in life always depends more on pressure skills than privilege. Years passed. No promotion, no recognition, no rescue, just waiting. And waiting tests identity. Because when nothing changes externally, you must decide who you are internally. Joseph could have become bitter, cynical, hopeless, but he didn't. He kept interpreting dreams. He kept helping others. He kept leading, even without title. This reveals the third truth. Your future role is practiced in your present reality. If you act like a leader before position, position eventually follows identity. And then, suddenly, everything changed. One day, Pharaoh had a troubling dream. No one could interpret it. And a former prisoner remembered Joseph. In a single moment, Joseph was summoned from prison to palace. 13 years of waiting ended in one day of elevation, from prisoner to Prime Minister of Egypt. And here is the powerful realization. God did not delay Joseph's success. He synchronized it. Because the same year Joseph was promoted, a global famine began. And Egypt needed a leader who understood suffering, scarcity, pressure, and endurance. A palace-raised prince would have failed, but a prison-tested leader was ready. This is why God makes you wait. Not to deny you, but to align you. Because premature elevation destroys unprepared people. But prepared people transform nations. Joseph's brothers later stood before him, the same brothers who betrayed him. And Joseph said something extraordinary. What you meant for evil, God meant for good. That is the psychology of mature faith, the ability to reinterpret pain as preparation. So if you are in a waiting season right now, nothing is wasted. The delay is not rejection. The obscurity is not abandonment. The prison is not the end. It is training. Because God is not only building your future, He is building you for your future. And when preparation meets timing, elevation becomes inevitable. Joseph waited 13 years. David waited 15. Moses waited 40. Because in God's pattern, great calling always travels through long preparation. So if your life feels slow, hidden, or delayed, remember Joseph. The pit did not stop him. Slavery did not break him. Prison did not define him. Because destiny is not decided by seasons. It is decided by formation. And when God finishes formation, elevation always follows.